if you don't know much about lapidary, or if you haven't worked with rocks in a lapidary setting, you may not know how ridiculously long it takes to make rocks go from this to this. With all the time and money spent cutting open rocks and then polishing them, it's hours. Now, if you know one thing about me, I do love my rock tumbling. And I thought the other day, instead of cutting the rocks open and having to go through all of the wheels on the Cab King, what if I took those rocks that were cut open and throw them in the tumbler? My thought is that the flat side is already really well ground down, so it wouldn't need more than a week on grit 1. Also, only doing a week on grit 1 will help the back stay more raw. And so I want to do an experiment where I cut open rocks, then throw them in the rock tumbler for 4 weeks. Now, 4 weeks is a long amount of time, but it's less time than having to personally stand in front of a Cab King for hours, because at least the rock tumbler is passive time. Does that make sense? So I have a bunch of Lake Superior agates here that I would like to cut open. I'm gonna cut open a bunch of them. Don't worry, I'll show you what the insides look like. Then I'm gonna put them in the tumbler for 1 month, and we're gonna see, is this a quote unquote faster way to polish the face of these rocks? Or is it not worth it? So let's get to the slab saw and find out. Okay, we are back inside, so let's take a look at the agates and then let's get them ready to go into our tumbler. Okay, so let's look at some of these beauties. Ooh, that's really pretty. Okay, super mossy one, love that. This next one, I'm not sure, kind of looks like a quartz bomb, but let's see. Oh, and it is. But that's okay, that'll be interesting to see how this tumbles. Okay, next up, this little guy, a lot of limonite staining on here. Ooh, there it is, look at that. Got some agate on this one. Okay, I like that. Okay, here's our next one. Not 100% sure if this one is an agate, but it does have kind of some characteristics. So, ooh, oh yeah, that's agate. Yeah, you can see little teeny pockets. That's cool. Okay, that's a really unique one. Okay, this one cracked a little bit, but look, I can already see. Ooh, let's look. Okay, that is beautiful. That is by far my favorite so far. Okay. I love that. Okay, love this one. Let's look at the next ones. Okay, this one like crumbled into a bunch of pieces and it doesn't really have any bandings. So because it's all cracked and I don't know, it's not really an agate, I think we'll probably leave this one out of the experiment, but at least we got a chance to cut it open. I'll throw it in the tumbler anyways to tumble it, but just not in this experiment. Okay, here's another one that, oh, actually there's a little bit of agate right there. I wasn't 100% sure was agate. Let's see. Ooh, okay. That is definitely agate. Wow, that's really cool looking. Oh my gosh, it's like, almost reminds me of Crazy Lace down there. Wow. Okay, cool. I like that one a lot. Okay, this one is super deep, but it has like this really nice pocket window there and limonite staining on this side. So I'm hoping it looks cool. Let's see. Ooh, okay, that one's like super deep and rich. Like definitely agate, but a super deep agate. Like I almost wonder, can you see it? You really can't see it much better on here. Huh, that's pretty cool. I wonder if tumbling it will kind of bring out some more of the banding so that you can see it a little better. Okay, this next one I am super excited about because I'm really hoping that little bit of druzy runs through. Let's look. Oh, wow. Oh, it's got like, does that come off? It does. That's interesting. It's like it was filled with some other sort of maybe limonite? I don't know. That's really cool. Oh my gosh. That is gorgeous. Wow. Oh my gosh. It almost looks like Minnesota, kind of. This one I'm really excited about. And I want to see if like that yellow stuff in the middle there will be able to kind of grind out with the grit. That'll be interesting to see. Okay, this one has some potential too. I'm wondering if looking at it this way, it looks kind of like I cut it wrong, but when I turn it this way, you can really see some of that patterning. So let's look. I hope I cut it right. Ooh, yeah, look at that. Oh, that's pretty. I wish it was a little bit more detailed for this one. Like, you know, they kind of almost look like they have a filter on them. They're not super clear, but I like that one. Okay. Okay, we have 3 left. This one, here we go. Cool. Ooh, that's pretty. Oh, that's cool. Ooh, and those little dendrites in there. Okay, love that one. Okay, here we go. Second to the last. Ooh. Oh, there's that like fortification pattern. That is so pretty. Okay, I love that one too. Okay, this is the last one, and I think this one looks really cool. So I saved it for last. Let's see what it looks like inside. Okay, here we go. Again, looks so cool. Oh, again, looks really interesting on the outside. So let's see. Oh, it's a quartz bomb. I mean, it is still pretty. I do like it, but I was really hoping for some more of the banding. That's okay. That's all right. It does look really deep, which is kind of cool. Like I feel like I can see into it pretty well, if that makes sense. So maybe tumbling it will make it show even better. All right, it's time to take all of our agates outside, put them in the tumbler, let them tumble for a week, and we'll see what they look like then. Okay, shout out to when we did the diamond tumble, by the way. That's the last time I used this barrel. But let's get all of these beauties into our tumbler. All right, so here's what we have. I think it's a decent level. Might be a little bit low, but let's add our grit and our water. All right, we have our rocks ready to go. Let's get it on the tumbler, and I'll see you in a week. It's finally time to look at our rocks. Okay, that's a little interesting. A lot of the rubber barrel was worn off in this tumble. Okay, gave these guys a good rinse. I pulled this one out and dried it off, and honestly, that doesn't look too bad. Like what we're going for is a flat surface. We can't see any of those marks from the saw anymore, and the backs still have kind of like that natural shape. Okay, so next we're gonna grab our ultrasonic cleaner and get off any of the grit that might be left in the remainder of the cracks. All right, I got some hot as I can tap water, and we're gonna put all of our little rocks in here and get her going on the ultrasonic cleaner. Hi, Odie. Otis. Otis. Hey. Okay, spread them out as best as I could, and now it's time for some dish soap. It's all done, and just look at that nasty water. We'll just carefully pour this out and give these guys a good rinse. All right, so let's get these beauties back into our tumbler. Ooh, these guys are getting really full. We still need to be able to add like some cushioning rocks. And that guy is really full already. So I might need to take some of these out, but this one I'm pretty sure broke into several pieces. So maybe we'll take this guy out and kind of free up a little bit of space in here. Okay, I just saw this one, and honestly, that quartz bomb is beautiful. All right, time to add some little rocks. And these little rocks will help act as cushions for stage 2. This is a 1-pound barrel, so we'll add 1 scoop of grit too. And we'll get these back on the tumbler for another week. It's been another 2 weeks. So let's take a look at our rocks. And that's mainly because I've just been really busy. Dude, I just got that all over me. Like, come on. This was a nice sweater too. Now I'm gonna take these beauties and run them through the ultrasonic cleaner to get off any of that grit that could be hiding in those cracks. Well, it's been 15 minutes, so let's pull our rocks out of the ultrasonic cleaner and move them on to step 3. I think that looks good. Okay, I need more water now, but that looks good. We'll get this back on the tumbler and I'll see you in another week. All right, it's time to take a look at our experimental rocks coming out of stage 3. It has been a couple weeks again, but that's okay. It just means they're gonna be more shiny. Okay, so let's take a look at what they look like after stage 3. All right, not looking too bad. There we go. Okay, just got done rinsing these off, putting them through the ultrasonic cleaner. So let's take a look at our beautiful agates. Okay, so looking at these, they're gorgeous. They really are. I've been really hoping that the backs will stay relatively raw. Like this is the back. And they're not looking that way. Now this is probably entirely my fault because I let them run in the tumbler way longer than I should have. So you let them run longer, they're gonna grind down more. Some of them look so small, like this one that I really like, it got so tiny. And look at how shiny the back is. I was not expecting this, but anyways, it is time for my favorite stage to add our grit, and in this case, polish. All right, see ya in another week. It is finally time to see how our rock experiment worked. I saved you the time of watching me take them out of the tumbler and clean them off, so let's take a look at how they turned out. And here they are. So here's our first one. Here's how we cut it and what it looks like. It looks okay. It's definitely not perfect. I'm not sure if it's just that this rock did have a lot of holes and cracks in it, but the outside. But one thing I am a little bit, I don't know if disappointed is the right word, about these is that I was really busy and I left them in a lot longer than I probably should have. And so the outsides are a lot more shiny than I was hoping they would be. So here's this one, and I think this is probably my least favorite, but this is kind of what I was hoping for. So this has been polished on the face, but is raw on the back. And as you can tell, this back is a little bit raw, not quite like this. And I know going through the tumbling process, the backs are never gonna look as raw as if you were to just cut and then polish the face, but I was hoping for more raw than I'm seeing. Let me show you some more. This guy is one of my favorites. I think it is so pretty, and look at that face. That is stunning. And the back, honestly, I kind of like it. It is still raw. It does still have some holes. It is, again, more shiny than I was hoping, but honestly, I kind of like this one. I think it turned out really good. Okay, this is our next one. Again, the outside's a little more tumbled than I was hoping, but that's okay. Let's see the inside. It's so hard to see this one, but look at that. At that shine. Oh, that's so pretty. I love how the light just dances. Gorgeous. Wow. Look at that. Oh, it's so pretty. Okay, I love that one. I was really curious about how this next one was going to turn out because it is filled with a lot more quartz, and sometimes the quartz polishes well, but other times it does not turn out. So here's the outside. That looks really cool. It's like jelly on the outside. Let me show the inside. Okay, again, outside. I really like how that outside turned out on this one. And there is our inside. Look at that. And you can still kind of see a little bit of imperfections in the quartz just because it is more pitted. But I think this one is really pretty. It looks like a tree, doesn't it? Like the branches or like the fractal patterns. Okay. Yep. I like that one a lot too. This little guy I am actually quite impressed with. All right. There's the outside. And look at that.
the tumbling really exposed more of an agate pattern in there. This one again isn't as perfect, like you can see some pitting for sure, but the parts that are polished are very shiny. That is pretty cool.
There are a few that I threw in just to kind of help with the level of the barrel as we were tumbling and were not part of the experiment, but I just had to show you this one because look at this Lake Superior agate. I am going to show you closer. It reminds me almost of like a crazy lace. It is so patterned.
Just look at that. Is that not beautiful? All the swirl, like, oh, come on. There's not one side that looks bad. That thing is stunning. And crazy lace, let me show you. Kind of looks like this one. Like, do you see how it's just a lot more bubbly pattern? So that's why I think this one reminds me of that. I am in love with this one, and it is definitely going to go somewhere in my collection. Right there, right? Okay, well, I'll figure that out later.
This next one also had like pretty much all quartz. So let me show you what it looks like inside and we'll see. Hopefully it turned out cool.
You can tell this one chipped at the bottom, so the other side's a little bit shorter, which I think is kind of funny. But here we go. Let's look inside this one. Oh, that's so cool. Oh, is that a little, oh, that is a little geode pocket. Do you see it? So tiny, but really cool actually. You know, I've been starting to like more of like this crackly quartz.
Like a lot of the times when I would cut open Lake Superior agates, I was like kind of disappointed when there was more quartz in it. But I don't know, I've been kind of growing to really like it. It's very unique, the patterns that it makes. And I think it looks really pretty. So I like that one too.
Okay, this guy turned out really small, but looks pretty cool. Still not really a lot of bands. I was hoping that tumbling would give more banding, but the outside is really colorful, which I think is pretty cool. Okay, these next two I'm gonna show at the same time just because I don't think they're too super great. Like, they're still pretty, but grit, as much as I tried to get it out, kind of did get stuck in this one. So I'm not a super big fan, even though that is really pretty right there, but I could not get that grit out. So that was a little disappointing. And then this one also, it's fine, but it's nothing to write home about. It's pretty cool. I do like the pattern on it, but I don't know, maybe, it might be growing on me, but there's these two.
And before we look at these final three, I want you to know that these are going to be available on my Etsy. So I think I'm going to sell them together because that's kind of the whole point of it. So you will be getting basically 2 pieces for the price of 1, because typically I sell them halves and halves, and I'm going to sell these ones as a whole unit. So be sure to check them out if it's something you're interested in. All right, let's take a look at the final 3. Okay, we have 3 left. I'm going to show you them in order from my least favorite to my most favorite. Oh, the last one is stunning. So let's look at the third to the best of the best.
Okay, look at what was exposed from tumbling on the outside of this one. Are you kidding? Like, that right there is probably my favorite thing. That is so cool. I love that. And now the inside. I'm gonna go real close here. I really do like this one a lot. Like, look at all the little quartz, like, pokey bits in between the bands. So like from far away, it almost looks like the bands are blurry, but then you look really close and they are just beautiful. Like, I really like this one a lot, especially the outside that almost reminds me of a flower right here. So pretty. Okay, this one is my next favorite. And again, the outside, I love these little dots. Like, come on, that is so cool. And they did not polish, so it's like you can feel them. I really like how that looks on the outside. I think it turned out cool. And then of course, the beautiful inside. Just look at that. Is that not stunning? Oh, come on. I love when they do the white banding. I think it really makes the agate pop. So gorgeous. Look at that one. Oh, I love it.
Okay, and now for the last one. I love this one so much. Let me show you.
Okay, the outside, again, stunning. I do really like it. That pocket right there. Oh, okay, ready? Here we go. Look at that. Oh, it's just so pretty. I love it. I kind of think it looks a bit like the shape of Minnesota. I mean, like, very abstract, but a bit. And then that quartz pocket is so pretty in there. I just love that. Gorgeous. Oh, these turned out so amazing.
Well, there we have it. We cut, we tumbled, to polish our agates. And I'm not sure, I think I do want to try this experiment again and then really actually stick to only tumbling them for the amount of time that they're supposed to tumble. Typically I don't care because more time in the tumbler just makes my rocks smoother, but when we're trying to keep a raw outside, that's really not the way that we want to go. So I still think it's cool. I like how the outside still looks a little bit rough, but I definitely want to try this again. Let me know what you think. If this did save time, I think that it did. The amount of time it takes me to clean them and then move them on to the next cycle is way shorter than it would have been to hand polish all of these. The only thing you have to wait on is like the weeks to actually wait for them to be done. So do you want to pay the time up front where you're like physically having to do it, or wait the time but not physically have to do it? I don't know. What do you think? Do you think it was worth it? Should I try it again? Let me know in the comments below. And if you haven't, make sure you subscribe to this channel and turn on that little bell notification so you're aware every time that I post. I'll see you guys next time. Bye.